Welcome everybody to our last day of 8th grade projects, those here in person and all of you on Zoom. Some of you might even be across the country tuning in. So before we even start, every moment I get, I'd like to give a big, huge thank you and shout out to Kristen. So once again, always thank you, Kristen, for all this being possible. And also to all the mentors who have spent so many countless hours with these children. So if we remember back to Wednesday, we had some people that presented for us. And what I was thinking, I'm gonna have the 8th graders just shout out what these people did, but I'm thinking in your classrooms too, if you want to, when I say their name, and if you remember, shout out what you think that this person did. Ready? Savon.
Painting.
Painting? Painting. Ryan. The tilt shift effect, which is a video editing process. Olivia. Sewing, super exciting. And then Stella. Tai Chi. Ketsia. Exploring race and finding her voice. And Gita. Taekwondo, where she stood up here and broke a board. So today we have for you this morning, we have Aiden and Gian, and in the afternoon we have Kiana, Ella, and Alistair, and they will be at noon. So Aiden, hold on one moment, Aiden. He will be presenting to you designing an escape room, and Gian has animation. So without further ado, here is Aiden.
Good morning, my name is Aiden, and for my 8th grade project, I designed an escape room. Escape rooms are rooms that players have to figure their way out of. The way out is found by solving a series of puzzles. These puzzles can be anything from fitting a marble into a slot or a game you have to play. Once you fit the marble into the slot or beat the game, the next part of the room unlocks. The second big element of an escape room is the story, because without a story, you just have a bunch of puzzles and nothing to connect them to. An example of a story could be that you're an archaeologist digging in Egypt and accidentally got caught in an ancient tomb, and you have to figure your way out. Or in another scenario, you could be lost in space or underwater and have to figure out how to get back to Earth or resurface before your oxygen runs out. Or still in another scenario, you could be part of a group of thieves who accidentally set off the alarm in the middle of their big heist and know they only have 30 minutes before the police arrive. As in that last example with the thieves, escape rooms can be set up to have time limits. A short one could be 20 minutes long with just a few puzzles, and a long room can be an hour long with 20 to 30 puzzles. The designer can choose not to have a time limit at all. The designer has a lot of leeway. It's up to the designer to choose it's up to the designer to choose the story, the puzzles, the amount of time, the number of players, and the sound effects. I chose this project because I love playing my way through escape rooms. I've played through several of them, and each was unique and interesting. I thought it'd be super fun to design one myself. I also chose this project because we have close family friends whose profession is designing escape rooms, and they agreed to be my mentors. My mentors for this project were Tom Johnson and Melissa Steinman. They live in Portland, so all my contact with them was through phone calls, emails, and Zoom. And now I'd like to present to you the escape room I have designed. The story goes like this. A couple are going away for the weekend. While they're away, they're having work done on their house. Their 2 teenage kids do not want to go with them. So they ask their neighbor if he would watch them for a few days. He says, yes, no problem. So the next day, the kids go over with their overnight stuff. He greets them at the door and says, let me show you to your rooms. They're at the top of the stairs right next to each other. Once they get to the top of the stairs, he points to one room and says, this is your room, and then points to the next one and says, this is your room. Now, once the kids are inside of their respective rooms, He grabs the doorknobs, slams the doors shut, and locks the doors. He then calls out, "Stay here, I'll be back in an hour." And before the kids could even say anything, they heard his footsteps running down the stairs and out the door. They know they only have 60 minutes before he gets back, so they get to work on figuring out how to escape their rooms. And now I have a couple of slides to show you. In this slide, you see the escape rooms I have designed. They are mirror images of each other. They both have the same furniture, just in opposite places. They both have a bed, an end table, a lamp, an armoire, a chair, a desk, and a corkboard. And in this second slide, you see the puzzles I have designed. The green stepping stones represent the puzzles in the first room, and the brown ones represent the puzzles in the second room. The puzzles go like this. The first puzzle is in room 1. It's a note in a drawer. In that note is a secret message. That secret message unlocks a drawer in room 2. The player in room 1 has to call over to room 2 and tell them the secret message. Now, player in room 2 can unlock their drawer. Inside of their drawer is a code and a keychain. On that keychain is a key. Engraved in that key it says "Secret Journal, Keep Out." That key can unlock a desk drawer, and inside of that desk drawer is a journal. As you can see, the players have to work together to escape their rooms. And now I'll be showing you some of the props that the players will find along the way. As you can see on the board, there was a clue about a dog and a blacklight. This is the dog. This is the dog, and inside of it is the blacklight. A blacklight can make invisible ink visible. This will be needed to see a clue inside of the journal. Over here, you have the end table and the lamp. The end table is locked. Was locked. Is locked. When you put the lamp on the end table, it unlocks the drawer. I won't be going through all the puzzles with you today because I want you to come and see them in real life when I make the room. The hard parts about this project were coming up with a story that was unique and coming up with puzzles that were hard but not too impossible to solve. The fun part about this project was actually building the props. In closing, I would like to thank the people who came up with escape rooms, because without them, I wouldn't have had this idea at all. Ms. Tisdale and the school for giving me this opportunity, Kristen for helping with the technical aspect, Catherine for helping me with my speech, and my parents for helping me get the props and supporting me all the way. And most of all, I would like to thank my mentors. Tom, thank you for all your wonderful ideas. And Melissa, thank you for being so generous with your time, giving me guidance and encouragement every step of the way, and for always listening to my ideas. Now, Tom and Melissa aren't here right now, but they are watching on Zoom. So I ask you to join me in giving them a round of applause. Any questions? Yeah.
On that first slide, we have a sequence of clues. We saw some clues, but not all of them. What are the other puzzles, and what's the last one that they have to solve to escape?
Well, the other puzzles are, there's all these ones, and these are the other puzzles. There's a lamp that gives you a screwdriver, and there's other stuff like you have to use the blacklight on a painting at one point. And the last puzzle, you have to find a special piece of paper with holes in it, and you also have to find a specific book. And when you put the paper in the book, it'll read out a message to you.
Cool.
And have you been in escape rooms? And if so, how many?
I've been in around 4, I think.
Are there any? Oh, yeah.
Did you build all of the props that you would need for
So like,
I have not yet, but I'm planning to over the summer.
How long did you spend like in total on this project?
I spent around 40 hours.
And we have a question from the 7th grade.
I don't know if we're allowed, but there's actually 2 questions in the 7th grade. We'll start with Kiva.
My name is
Loud, loud, so they can hear.
My name is Kiva, and I'm wondering how long it took you to make the props. How long it took you to make the props?
It didn't take long. It was just hard to put in the thing that unlocks the drawer.
Aiden, that was really fancy, I have to say. It even on Zoom, it looked unbelievable. Clarity.
My name's Barry. I was curious, did you come up with multiple ideas and decide to do this one, or did you start with just one, if that makes sense?
You come up with multiple ideas or just this one?
For an escape room. I came up with 18 puzzles, or just around.
And then, yeah, one more. Can you show us how the drawer works again?
Yeah. So right now it's locked. Now it's locked. And this lamp, there's something attached to the bottom, and when you put it here, it just unlocks the drawer.
Can you show us the bottom of the lamp?
Yeah, this is the admin card to the wall.
Nice.
Congratulations. We will be back in just a moment.